I want to say to everyone online and everyone in the room too, it is undeniable, if we've been watching these teachings, that what Geshe Yeshe is imparting to us from Tsongkhapa and from Chandrakirti, the whole lineage is just beyond priceless. I mean, priceless. And you know, priceless. And he's giving this completely freely from his years of training and practice, and we are benefiting so much. And so from the part of the student, it's really a privilege for us to be able to make an offering and appreciation for this great kindness. Not only does it bring, our gratitude is expressed in that way, but also we're creating the causes to be able to have teachings like this again in the future. So it's hugely to our benefit, and of course we want to thank Geshe fully. So the Abbey is gathering offerings for Geshe Yeshe that we will offer as a group, an aggregate of everything that comes together before he leaves. So we're inviting our friends online who have been participating in these teachings to make an offering as well. You can either do this on our website, and the link for that is in the chat box. Simply go to that website, make your donation by credit card, and write in the comments box, this is for the Geshe Yeshe teachings. If you'd rather do it by check, you can also send a check to Sravasti Abbey, make it out to the Abbey, we'll add it to that collection. On your check, write, this is for Geshe Yeshe. You send it to our mailbox, 692 Country Lane, Newport, Washington, 99156, and that address is also on the donate page on the website. You can find that information easily. So we'll invite you, we'll remind you over the time, because November 9th is not very far away, but please make sure if you're sending a check that it arrives, doesn't get written on, but arrives by November 9th, so we can make this offering together in appreciation for this kindness, because together we're creating tremendous karma to be able to take these teachings together. And by sharing this, may we all be able to do it again and again in the future. Thanks for joining us.
Homage to my Guru, protector Manjushri, holds to his heart a scriptural text and knowledge of his seeing all things as they are. Wisdom shines forth like the sun, unclouded by the true obscurations, who teaches its 60 ways with the loving compassion of a parent for her only child. All wanders caught in the prison of samsara, confused in the darkness of their ignorance, overwhelmed by suffering. You whose dragon thunder like proclamation of Dharma rouses us from the stupor of our afflictions and frees us from the iron chains of our karma, who wields the sword of wisdom, hewing down suffering when its sprouts appear, clearing the darkness of ignorance. You whose princely body is adorned with 112 marks of the Buddha, you completed the stages achieving the highest perfection of a bodhisattva who has been pure from the beginning. I bow down to you, O Manjushri. With the brilliance of your wisdom, O compassionate one, illuminate the darkness enclosing my mind, awaken my intelligence and wisdom, so that I may gain insight into Buddha's words and the texts that explain them. This ground anointed with perfume, flowers strewn Mount Meru, foreland sun and moon, imagined as a Let fall the rain of the profound and extensive Dharma, in whatever form is suitable for subduing sentient beings. Idam Guru Rana Mandala Kamniryatayami. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by listening to the Dharma, I will attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by listening to the Dharma, I will attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by listening to the Dharma, I will attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings.
Okay. So I'm thinking of talking a little bit more about the innate course notion of transitory, collection of transitory collection. Okay. So here we have a line in fourth chapter, which reads, thoughts. No, I think I will recite this Jeffrey's translation. Okay. What is related to the view of a self is thoroughly extinguished, is more, how to say, compatible with the original text. So I would, read this. What is related to the view of a self is thoroughly extinguished. So this is the line that we need to further explore, I think, in order to ensure ourselves as to which one is which one is in that course view of self, and which one is contrived view of self. Okay, so these are important for us to distinguish through our own experience. So in order to to be able to distinguish between them, we will. I think it's it is essential for us to I think to know the differences between them. First, I think intellectually, and then you need to, how to say, internalize. Okay, what you have what you understand. What you have understood. Okay. So, with regard to, I think, view of self. Okay. So for instance, okay, there's an innate view of course, innate course view of self, which is to be eliminated by fourth ground. Okay, so therefore, okay, I'm saying course view of self, which is to be eliminated by fourth ground. So therefore, there must be a innate course view of self. Okay, so we need to identify this as to whether this can be as to whether this is okay. This is already known, okay, for the other proponents of inherent existence. I mean, the proponents of I think inherent existence, such as Vaivashika and Sautrantika, as well as Chitramatrins, okay, and also Sautantrika Madhyamikas, okay. So according to, I think, as I said earlier, just briefly, okay, according to Kunjin Jamyang Sheva and as well as the fifth Dalai Lama, okay, they presented three different variations of the main object of course view of self. Okay, there are okay. The first one is that I think the first one is so I have this in Tibetan. I will try to translate this. Okay, okay. There are two variations of substantial existence. Okay, according to Jamyang Sheba. Okay, three variations of substantial existence. Okay, the first one is main object of innate course self-grasping, distinctly established by Prasankika Madhyamika. And then the second one is the main object of innate course self-grasping has to be identified by Sautrantika and onwards up to Sautantrika Madhyamika. And the third one is the main object of contrived course self-grasping, so as to be asserted by all Buddhist schools. Okay, so and then we need to exemplify each one of them. Okay, the first one is that okay, in view of I think, in perspective of the substantial existence as apprehended by course in that view of transitory collection. Okay, the main object of the innate course view of collection of transitory is a person which is not ascribed as separate from aggregates, just like the merchant boss is not being laid aside from the merchants. Okay, okay. Then furthermore, I think the aggregates depend on person, but not vice versa. And a person, as of nature of aggregates, having reigns or control over aggregates. Okay. So that is considered. That is how to say. That is considered to be the main object of the innate course view of self according to fifth Dalai Lama as well as to Jamyang Sheba. Okay, and then the second one, as regards the second one. Okay, the second one is that, as I said earlier, the second one is the main object of innate coarse self-grasping, so as to be identified by Sodrantika and onwards up to Sodrantika Madhyamika. Okay, so what is that? Okay, so we need to, that is, okay, that is, that should be understood as a person, that should be understood as a person being a ruler of the aggregates by, aggregates as being, I think, dissimilar from aggregates in nature, like a herder and its herd of livestock, as well as herder controlling over herd of I think livestock. Okay, so in this case, herder and livestock are separate in nature. Okay, so a person as a ruler of the aggregates by in the sense, I think a person as a ruler of the aggregates by being dissimilar from aggregates in nature, like herder and his herd of livestock. Okay, as well as herder controlling over herd of livestock, I think. So that, that type of person, okay, is the main object of the innate core, innate view of, I should say, innate view of self, according to Vaivashika up to the Sodhantrika Madhyamika system. Okay, and then the third one. Okay, the third one is the main object of the collection, main object of the view of collection of transitory. Okay, okay. No, I should Ranti Kundasu Deva in that main object of the contrived view of collection of view of transitory collection. Okay. That is the permanent, I think, partless, unitary, and self-powered person. Okay, so a permanent, partless, unitary, and self-powered person is the main object of the view of contrived view of transitory collection, so as to be identified or asserted by all Buddhist schools. I mean, okay. So there are three different variations. The one is that contrived view of transitory collection, so as to be identified and asserted by all Buddhist schools. Then on top of that, there are two different view of transitory collection, such as one that is, that is distinctly established, I think established by Prasangika Madhyamika as to be innate notion, and then other one, the other one, I think, other one, I mean, innate notion of innate course notion of transitory collection, so as to be, asserted by Vaishika as well as Sautrantika school system, and up, onwards, up to Sautantrika Madhyamika. Okay, so this is one thing. Okay, one portion, I think. So if you you need to, once you understand the meaning correctly, okay, as I said, and then if you apply this into your real world, okay, and once there's a, if it incurs, I think, if it incurs within you, okay, that I mean, if you recognize, okay, or if you are able to unmistakably pinpoint that such different, these three, I mean, the first two, okay, if you are able to pinpoint, okay, that pinpoint or able to point out, okay, from your own experience, okay, as to which one is the first one and which one is the second one, okay, then it is, marvelous, I mean, wonderful, okay. And then, if not, then I think it's pretty hard for me. I have tried, and I even identified this, okay. Then the other version is that, I think, as it is described in many texts, like, Gezab, Dharma Kirti, Dhamma Rinchen, Gezab Dhamma Rinchen commentary on Parmana Vardika Karika, okay. It is in his second chapter, okay. Okay, second chapter, okay. In his second chapter, there's some, some passage, I think, which describes the main object of innate notion of self, okay, self of a person, okay. So even though this is presented in accordance with Chittamatra viewpoints, as well as Trantika, okay, school systems, okay, but it can be, I think, also taken in terms of I think, it can be taken, okay, as in men, taken, I think, as the main object of, I think, innate view of innate coarse view of transitory collection, that is accepted, okay, or asserted by Prasangika Madhyamika school system, okay, because there's no any different or distinctive, I think, okay, distinct mention, okay, in any text of Tsongkhapa, Dharma Rinchen, as well as Kedu Gele Besa, as well as Pinjusuna, Dabo Jisnu Chugense, Kedu Kindu Tembadange, so on and so forth, okay. There's not any mention about, that there's no any mention about, mentioned about, I think, having distinct, okay, having innate notion of innate course in that notion of transitory collection that is distinctly recognized, that is, uniquely and distinctly, uncommonly recognized by only, Prasangika Madhyamika school system. Okay, so therefore, therefore it could be the case. Okay, and then not only that, but also Tsongkhapas, here, I mean, illuminating in the illuminating thought, illumination of intent. Okay, he also explains about, when he explains about the about compassion, observing phenomena. Okay, compassion observing phenomena. Okay, he also he also hint at. Okay, he also hint at, I think, that hint at. Okay, hint at, I think, hint at substantially existent person. Okay, substantially existent person. I think, okay, I think hint at, I think, when he talk about, Cholamiba, okay, Cholamiba, okay, I think, okay, first I'm going to read this, then it will be easier to talk on this. I think when one determines that, I think this I'm quoting from the Illumination of Intent. When one determines that beings disintegrate momentarily, the existence of a phenomenon, existence of a permanent, unitary, and self-powered person is eliminated for one's mind, thereby one can ascertain the non-existence of sentient beings who are different entities from their mental and physical aggregates. Okay, so different, okay, entities from their, okay. When we talk about Cholamiba, it's Chösamla. Chösamla, mere phenomena. It means mere phenomena. In this case, mere phenomena means mere psychophysical, mere psychophysical phenomena. Okay, mere psychophysical phenomena. Something that is designated to the, or the person, you can say, a person designated to the, designated merely, not person designated to the mere should be the mere psychophysical phenomena. Okay, person designated to the mere psychophysical aggregates. Okay, mere should be there. Okay, not the front side. Okay. It has two different meanings. Often people, get, I think, get confused. Okay, about these two meanings. Okay, I'll leave that aside. I think this is not. So okay. So when we say the person designated, a person designated to mere psychophysical phenomena is the observed object of compassion observing phenomena. Okay, so since it is okay, since okay, that that phenomena serves as a focus or the object of focus of such compassion. Okay, such compassion is termed compassion observing phenomena. Okay. So therefore, when we say person designated to mere psychophysical phenomena. Okay. So so in this case, mere negates. Okay. Negates in this case, the mere negates the different I think entity between person and its his psychophysical aggregates. Okay. So therefore, and then okay, also and then okay, therefore one can ascertain the non-existence of sentient beings who are different entities from the first once you understand the impermanence of sentient beings, and then it is very conducive, and it is very, how to say, resourceful for yourself to be able to ascertain that there's no any person which is permanent and partless, unitary and self-powered. And then as a result of that, you may be able to conclude or ascertain that you yourself is not different entity from your own psychophysical aggregates. And then once you focus, once you focus, once you mentally focus on yourself, it just naturally you will instinctively, I think you instinctively understand that you are not substantially existent. Non-substantial existence of a person can be ascertained at that point. And then, so therefore, a person qualified being non-substantially existent and and a person designated to mere psychophysical aggregates are same. A person designated to mere psychophysical aggregates and a person qualified by non-existence of substantial existence. Qualified by non-existence of substantial existence are same in the meaning. So therefore, and this is one thing. And also I think and then also the commentary of the Gyaltsab Dhamma commentary on second chapter of Parmanavardika also describes about this. He describes this as I think he gives us some analogy in order to understand this. When it comes to a merchant, who thinks that he is not designated to mere he is not designated I think imputed would be imputed on, I think imputed on, I think the merchandise, okay, or what is that? Chongsong, okay. Chongsong, merchandise? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. I'm not sure. There's some merchandise is a.
Merchandise is things that the merchant is selling.
Oh yeah, I mean that.
So he doesn't think he's imputed on the computer.
No, merchandise. I mean merchandise, not computer. Merchandise. Chongsong.
But merchandise includes the computer.
Yeah, yes, that's right. But Chongsong is Chongsong, merchant and merchandise. So there's relationship between them. Computer and merchant is it's different. Merchant and merchandise. Mine, you can say, but not computer. Computer is mine, okay, but not.
And what about those who sell computers? Those who sell computer, they are merchant.
Oh yeah, yeah.
To whom computer is merchandise.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Yes, yes, you can also say that. Yes, we can also apply that. Yes.
Except you have to be. Yes, it can be applied with regard to computer also, so long as it's the relationship between computer seller and the computers, but not as owners of it.
So here it's a little bit, yeah. Merchandise, okay, merchandise. Imputed, I think. Imputed on.
Do you mean in relationship to instead of on?
Not in the sense of like this, So we can say the cow is, how do you say, the cow is, how does it, pubal, what do you call pruba? Back.
Some kind of
What do you call this?
to tie the livestock so that they do not run away. We use some kind of peg that is dug. What do you call
over
it?
there.
Push into the ground, to which they are tied.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stake.
Yeah, stake. Yeah. We can say we have tied those livestock to stake. Two. Yes. Yeah. Likewise, but there's also robe. There's also robe. It's not directly here, not directly here, but through the robe. Yeah, we still say the livestock is that cow is tied to the stake. Okay, I also like that. Okay, it doesn't mean when we designate to something, it doesn't mean this is it. Merchandise is not, it doesn't mean merchandise is regarded as a merchant. It's, I think it's okay. Okay. Tagba is tricky again. Okay. Tagba in Tibetan. Designate or impute on. Okay. Impute on. Okay. You can say impute on. Okay. So the person, the Chongba is a merchant or merchant. Okay. As of ordinary merchants. Okay. The normal merchants would think that they are substantially merchant. Okay. Existent merchant. Okay. In that case, they think that they are not. How to say imputed on. They are they are merchandise. Okay. 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 Okay.
I think what Geshe-la is talking about, you can find in Roger Jackson's book, his translation on page 393, verse 247. So it is talking about merchant and merchandise goods.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Also, Jamyan Sheba, you mean Jamyan Sheba? Okay. Yeah, Jamyan Sheba also talked about, gives this analogy in order to establish, his understanding of course in the notion of self. So here, it's usually it's how to say it is clear, okay, but I don't know how to say. Like what do you call steak? Steak, okay. The cow is tied to the steak, but it doesn't mean directly. Okay. Likewise, in Tibetan, I think Chongba, it's okay. It doesn't mean that merchandise is designated or is imputed as a merchant. Rather, merchant can be imputed on merchandise. It doesn't mean merchandise is imputed as a merchant. For instance, person is designated to psychophysical aggregates, but it doesn't mean there's nothing which can stand as a person from their side. Okay. Likewise. So I think it's a little bit strong word. I think. Usually it also happens, this kind of discussion in the monastery. Okay. Oh, we shouldn't say this. We should say in relation. Oh yeah. So anyway, so it's up to how we understand. I think how we understand the mode of I think designation or imputation. Okay, when it comes to imputing something on something else, what that does mean. Okay, does it mean that the basis of the imputation must be an instance of the something that is imputed? That is not the case. Okay, so likewise, this also can be okay. So therefore, the pari and suri also. Pari and suri. The pari is we can say also east and west, north and south. Okay. And in relation is very good. Then shajola. You can say in this case, but it doesn't mean. It means that it doesn't mean. For instance, okay, in relation to east, we can establish west. In relation to west, we can establish east. Yeah, okay, that is very clear to all. But we can also say, I think, Taba, shajola taba. Okay, shajola ta means it doesn't mean there's something that stands west within that. Yes, mutually. Yeah. Anyway, I think okay. If that merchant has, okay, understanding the kind of understanding that he is merely designated, he is imputed in relation to merchandise, okay, then he would not have some kind of, how to say, fear, okay, when it comes to, making some kind of transaction, okay, exchange, okay, or selling, okay, when it comes to selling commodities, okay, and buying and selling, okay, he some kind of, how to say, fear, okay, that, I may lose my capital, or I may, I think, I may lose from it, okay. Okay. So this is, this is analogy, okay. If he has the understanding of that he is merely imputed merely in relation to his merchandise, then he would not have, he would not have, I think, the fear, okay, that I think that he would, he would lose, his material possessions, and he would, okay. Okay. And also, I think, okay. If he sees, okay, something that is more profitable, okay, and then he also kind of, also, he would also generate some kind of fear that, I may not be able to get that profit, okay. So this is the analogy given in the text, and then based on this analogy, Gesab Dhammarinji comes to identify the hypothetical measure of, I think, the substantial existent person, okay. And so here, Kansa Rao, and Kansa is the person, okay, person which is not, I think, merely, which is not, I think, which is not merely imputed on individual psychophysical aggregates or the collection of psychophysical aggregates, okay. So that is, he, how to say, that is the measure of the, that is the measure of substantial existent person given in his text, Gesab Dhammarinji's text, okay. Okay, yeah. So, okay. I think free person, okay, free person in the sense that he is not merely imputed on individual psychophysical aggregates or collection of psychophysical aggregates. Okay. Okay. So that is that is the measure. Okay. Okay. So this is very quite clear. Okay. So this is this measure is given in terms of the main object of innate view of self. Okay. With in view of Chidamatan school systems as well as Sautrantika school system. Okay. Okay, yeah. So therefore, it means whatever that in that notion has apprehends is the measure of free person as to be known, okay, or self of person, okay, free person or the self of person as to be known, okay. Oh yeah, okay. Let me some mistakes in English, I think. Yeah, I just say it again, okay. Yeah, I think, yeah. Yeah, I think, okay. So, okay. The person, okay, a person merely designated or imputed on his own, okay, individual psychophysical aggregates or the collection of psychophysical aggregates, okay. 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 Yeah, okay. It's okay. How to say this? Okay. Okay, person. Okay, I'm the measure of, I think. I'm going to say this again. The measure of the main object of innate view of self given in, I think, described in the commentary of Gesav's commentary of Parmana Vardika Kariga is that, I think, that a person, I think, okay, a free person, okay, which is not, I think, which is not imputed on individual psychophysical aggregates or collection of psychophysical aggregates, okay. So that is the measure, I think. Well, that is the self of a person or free person, so as to be known in the tenet systems of tenet systems of Sautantrika as well as Chidamatra. Okay, I think it's okay. Okay, so therefore, since they have all of these, Vaivashika through Sautantrika Madhyamika school system assert that there is such innate notion of self-grasping. Okay, so therefore, I don't see any reason that we don't, in any reason, even with the perspective, even from the perspective of Prasangika Madhyamika in this case, I don't see any reason that such is not non-existent. Okay, they are existent. Okay, so this is one thing. Okay, and also finally, I think okay, and also okay, I think okay. Okay, I think okay. Okay, so okay. And then some arguments there. Okay, so we can also, how to say, answer all those arguments. If those arguments are, if I say this, I don't know whether I can say here or not. Little complicated. But if you want to listen very patiently, maybe. Yeah, from some passages from eloquent speech, essence of eloquent speech by Tsongkhapa. Okay, they would quote some passages from them. Then there's no any. They can. None of those passages can prove. I would say okay. And then okay. So okay. Okay, now we can move on, I think, a little bit. Okay. Okay, now, so with regard to that, okay, the view of, I think, yeah, I'm reading Jeffrey's translation here. Okay, it's a little quite clear here. The view of self is the subtle view of the transitory collection, which precedes the coarse perceptions of a self, of persons, and of a person's belongings. Okay, belongings is mind is better. Okay, persons and of self, of persons and mind. Okay, and which precedes the coarse perceptions of a self, of persons and mind. Okay, view of coarse conceptions of mind. Okay, mind is better in this case, person rather than person's belongings. Okay, and Chandrakirti refers to these latter as being related with a view of self. Okay, to this latter as being related with a view of self. These latter, okay, latter. These latter is just only two coarse conceptions of self, of persons, and of a mind, of a mind. I think they are the okay, and then they are the conceptions. They are the conceptions that sentient beings and so forth exist substantially, self-sufficiently. That sentient beings and so forth exist substantially, okay, self-sufficiently. Both these conceptions of self, of persons, and thereof phenomena, and adherence to the truth of aggregates, constituents, and thoroughly extinguished. Oh, I see. In this case, I think it's not a big deal, but the text is saying the view of self is the subtle view of the transfer collection. Okay, this is the cause. Okay, as a result of this, okay, there are two different wrong views. Okay, the one is coarse, okay, conceptions of persons and mind, of a mind, I think. Okay. And then also, of course, conceptions of conception of phenomena. Okay, the conception of phenomena. Okay, that is an adherence to the truth of aggregates, constituents, and sources are thoroughly extinguished, meaning that both of them are consequences or the results of the view of self. Okay, but it doesn't generally saying that view of self is cause and then these are result, rather than saying the result of view of self such as coarse conceptions of a self, of persons, and of mind, okay. A mind, okay. And also the adherence to the truth of aggregates, constituents, and sources. Okay, that is the meaning. Okay. Okay, now I think it should be okay. Huh? Okay, now we can finally start the fifth ground. Okay, the fifth ground. Okay, how to concur. The fifth ground. And this has two parts. Okay. Two parts. Two parts are the etymology of the name of the fifth ground and the becoming superior in meditative absorption and mastering the truths. Okay. The first one is the etymology of the name of the fifth ground. Okay. This great one on the ground of hard to conquer cannot be defeated even by the entire host of Maras. Okay. Two lines. Okay. The great one abiding on the fifth ground of hard to conquer, if he cannot be defeated even by the entire host of Maras, such as Devaputra, residing throughout the world systems. Okay, what need is there to speak of others, such as the servants of Mara under his command? Therefore, this ground is named hard to conquer. Okay, so here when we say Devaputra is Hayupuyidu, Mara of Devaputra. It's a particular person yeah, is believed to be a Mara, okay, coarse Mara and subtle Mara. Within it, there are two different categories: coarse Mara of Devaputra and subtle Mara of Devaputra. Coarse Mara of Devaputra is a person, whereas subtle Mara of Devaputra is not a person, but is a obscuration or hindrance, okay, that is interfering, okay, that is interfering us from achieving Buddhahood. Interfering with us, interfering with us from achieving Buddhahood. Okay. Okay, and then the precious Kalin says, yeah, okay, now so here is entire host of Maras, okay, we say here, the great one abiding on the fifth ground of the heart, if he cannot be defeated even by the entire host of Maras, such as so many Maras of Devaputra, okay, Jidin Tamjana Neva, like Puyidu, so many, okay. So, as I said earlier, Devaputra, okay, when we say Devaputra, Mara of Devaputra, it should be understood in terms of two, the subtle one and the coarse one. Coarse one is just some form of Deva or God, okay, and who interfere, okay, with the spiritual pursuit, okay, spiritual pursuit, or in the path to liberation made by sentient beings, okay. And also the other one, the subtle Mara of Devaputra, is not a person, okay, not a sentient being, but it is just a hindrance or obstruction, I would say, obstruction, which interfere, I think, the progression in spiritual pursuit. Okay. Now, the precious garland says, the fifth is hard to conquer because it is so hard for all the Maras to subdue it. Here, master in understanding arises on the subtle points of the Arya, truths, and so on. As for its ripening effect, he will be a king of the Trishita gods. He undoes the contents of the afflicted views crafted by all proponents of extremes. Okay. Okay, now I think this is okay. That's the second, okay. The second heading, becoming superior in meditative absorption and mastering the truth. It has 2 lines, excelling in meditative absorption and in the truths of the wise, he gains mastery in refined understanding as well. Okay. Excelling in meditative absorption and in the truths of wise, he gains mastery in refined understanding as well. Okay. Okay. On this fifth ground, among the 10 perfections, it is the perfection of meditative absorption that one comes to excel in. Seeing as the Bodhisattva had previously become superior in the first 4 perfections, generosity up to diligence, it is easily understood that the point of reference here must come from among the remaining 6 perfections. Okay. I think on this fifth ground, okay, among the 10 perfections, it is the perfection of meditative absorption that one comes to excel in. Okay, on the fifth ground, the Bodhisattva has excelled in, I think, perfection of meditative absorption. Okay. Okay. Seeing as the Bodhisattva had previously become superior in the first 4 perfections, generosity after diligence, it is easily understood that point of reference here must come from the remaining 6 perfections. Okay. So this is to say, okay, the Bodhisattva has attained, the Bodhisattva on the 5th ground has attained, on this ground, attained, I think, a level of absorption that can never be trodden, okay, upon by such opposing forces as distraction, and this extent of mastery is lacking for the perfection of wisdom and the rest. Okay. So it is just saying that the Bodhisattva who is on the 5th ground has excelled in meditative absorption, but not having excelled in the wisdom and so forth. Because the reason is that the Bodhisattva who is on the 5th ground has attained, I think. Reason is that I think Bodhisattva on the 5th ground has attained, okay, such a level of absorption that can never be trodden upon by such opposing forces such as opposing forces as distraction, and oh yeah, this extent of mastery is lacking. Okay, for the perfection of wisdom and the rest. Okay, okay, this, yeah, the Bodhisattva. Fifth ground Bodhisattva, okay. Yeah, fifth ground Bodhisattva, okay, has excelled, okay, in meditative absorption to the point that he can never be trodden upon by such opposing forces as distraction and this extent of mastery. This extent of mastery is lacking for the perfection of wisdom and the rest. So therefore, he has excelled in meditative, perfection of meditative absorption, but not, excelled in, not excelled in, the wisdom and, yeah, and so on. Okay, huh? Okay. Not only does the Bodhisattva become superior in meditative absorption, he also gains mastery in refined understanding of the nature or essence of the truths of the wise, namely the Arya's understanding that requires comprehension through refined intellect. Okay, that's okay. Namely, okay. Okay, a refined understanding of the nature or essence. Essence, I think, here in Tibetan text, Pawe Dembe Rangshi, the Ranging Wo entity, I think. In other words, I think we should say, he also gains mastery in refined understanding of the nature, in other words, its own entity. Its own entity of the nature or the entity of the, I think. He also gains mastery in refined understanding of the nature. In other words, the entity of the truths of, I think, the entity of the truths of the wise, namely the Aryas, understanding that requires comprehension, thorough, refined intellect. Okay. Understanding that requires comprehension, through refined intellect. Okay. Therefore, here he becomes endowed with superior wisdom, versed in the coarse and subtle aspects of the truths. Okay. So here, Bodhisattva on the fifth ground has become extremely well versed in the coarse and subtle aspects of the truths. Okay, when we say coarse and then subtle, we have coarse Four Noble Truths, we have subtle Four Noble Truths, coarse Four Noble Truths, and subtle Four Noble Truths, and then 16 attributes, coarse 16 attributes, and subtle 16 attributes. When it comes to, with regard to, I think, with regard to course Four Noble Truths, it is, I think, it is understood in the sense that I think the truth of suffering as being, as being the result of, I think, as being the result of innate coarse notion of self, And then the origin is also in that notion, in that coarse notion of self is the coarse origin of suffering. And then also the path, the truth of path, and also the truth of cessation. Okay, the truth of path is the coarse aspects of 16 attributes. The wisdom directly realizing coarse 16 attributes is the coarse truth of path, and then the coarse cessation would be is the eradication or elimination of afflictions which are mentioned in Abhidhamma Kosh Karega. Lower, as you know, both Abhidhamma, lower and as well as upper Abhidhamma text. Okay, Abhidhamma text. Okay, and then with regard to the 16 attributes, as of course level. Okay, for instance, impermanence, suffering, problematic nature, or impermanence, problematic nature, and selflessness, tongba is empty. Okay, the empty, selfless, empty. Okay, so with regard to the impermanence, but there's no differentiation between the entity itself. Okay, the momentarily disintegrating is the same, but here, because it is qualified. No, it is attributed, I think, to a coarse truth of suffering. So therefore, it is treated, or it is regarded, or it is classed as coarse aspect of impermanence. Okay, impermanence itself is the same. Okay, just momentarily disintegrating entity, whether be it a subtle one or coarse one. Okay, the differentiation between coarse and subtle aspect of impermanence is made, I think, made with respect, made, I think, made, whether being attributed to a coarse truth of suffering or subtle truth of suffering. Okay, then tongba, empty, selfless. Okay, so then these are very obvious when we try to understand it in terms of coarse, empty. It should be understood in terms of devoid of substantial existence of person. Okay, and substantial, substantial, devoid of substantial existence of, devoid of substantial existence of a person. Okay, or persons, of persons. Okay, then the selfless is that. Then tongba is empty. With regard to the empty, if we are to understand it in terms of on course level, okay, we should understand it as lacking, how to say, the object, I think you can say object. Lacking. I think, yeah, Dongba, okay. Yeah, I think here, empty, okay, we have empty, okay. Empty of, I think, empty of the object that is utilized by substantially existent persons, okay. Okay, so these are four course levels of these are four course level of levels, course aspects of 16 attributes. And then and then also we have the origin of suffering, the course origin of suffering. The course origin of suffering in this case should be understood in terms of innate notion grasping at substantial existent person, okay, and afflict emotions controlled by itself, okay. And then, okay, so and then with regard to four aspects, Gyu Kunjung Ravi Jing Naba, Gyu course, Gyu Kunjung, how to Kunjung, Gyu is origin, Gyu is cause, Kunjung, origin is the first one. What is that? Kunjung is Kunjung, Gyu Kunjung Ravi. Kunjung means that Kunjung means yang from time to time, okay, arising from time to time, a cause from which suffering arises from time to time. That is Kunjung, the second one, Gyu Kunjung. Rabke is that Rabdukyawa means that immensely, I think, which result in suffering immensely. Rabke. Kya is condition. The fourth one is condition, okay. Okay. So the aspects themselves, or with respect to the aspects, with respect to the four aspects themselves, okay, we cannot differentiate as to whether which one is subtle and which one is coarse, okay, but we can differentiate the coarse and subtle aspects of the truth of origin with regard to whether they are being attributed to subtle origin of suffering or not, okay, subtle origin or coarse origin of suffering, subtle or coarse origins of suffering. Okay, so okay, this is these are the coarse, these are the four coarse aspects of the origin of suffering. And then we have the I think, okay, we have always talked about this, the truth of path and truth of cessation. I think I have taught this. No? Oh, I think, okay, then, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I will say this. Then, with regard to the cessation, okay. In this case, the cessation is not purely cessation, okay. in terms of it, it means that for the time being, okay, for the time being, having ceased, okay, coarse afflictive emotions for a limited period of time, okay. That is a coarse cessation, okay. The coarse afflictive emotions, okay, as I said earlier, when we talk about the four coarse aspects or attributes of origin of suffering, okay, we have talked about the coarse afflictive emotions, okay. So when it comes to recognizing the coarse cessation of suffering, okay, coarse cessation of affliction, we can say, coarse cessation of affliction, okay, we can also understand it in terms of, I think, having eliminated coarse afflictive emotions for a certain period of time, okay. And then the coarse part, okay, is the wisdom realizing, okay, wisdom directly realizing 16 coarse aspects of or attributes of Four Noble Truths, okay. So those are, coarse Four Noble Truths and coarse 16 attributes of Four Noble Truths, okay. So, okay, maybe we can stop here and then, okay.
May the spiritual teachers who lead me on the sacred path, and all spiritual friends who practice it have long life. May I pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. Grant such inspiration, I pray. May the lives of the venerable spiritual mentors be stable, and their virtuous actions spread in the 10 directions. May the light of Losang's teachings dispelling the darkness of the beings in the 3 worlds always increase. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Niryatayame. Due to this merit, may we soon attain the awakened state of Guru Buddha, that we may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the precious Bodhi mind, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. In the snowy mountain pure land, you're the source of good and happiness. Powerful Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezi, may you stay until samsara ends.